All right, y'all. We got Hall of Fame to talk about. We got Twitter feuds to talk about. We got Miami to talk about. We got a lot to dive into on the show this week. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Welcome into the fifth turn. All right, how's it going, everybody? My name is CJ Ward. Welcome into the fifth turn. So good to have you here. Remember, as always, you can follow the show on Twitter at Fifth Turn. Also on Facebook, facebook.com/The Fifth Turn. You can send an email to thefifthturn@gmail.com. You can even follow me on my personal Twitter, which is at CJWard_24. So much to dive into on the show this week. I'm gonna try to condense my race recaps. I know I tend to almost give a lap by lap update, but because we have 4 races and so much other stuff to talk about on the show this week, I'm going to try to condense everything, keep it fairly short so that I don't bore you guys or talk too long. I usually try to keep these episodes as close to about 20 minutes as I can, so I may talk fast and quick and cut some stuff out, but you know, things happen. So, a lot to talk about on the show this week. A lot has happened. I apologize for this episode being so late in the week in comparison to what I normally do. It's been a busy week between working, and I've been a guest on another podcast earlier this week, and got a lot going on that has been occupying my days. So, we're doing this on Thursday afternoon, and probably should go out Thursday night, Friday morning. I'm not sure when I'm going to put it out yet, but here we are talking about Homestead Miami Speedway this past weekend. 4 races there, 2 Xfinity, 1 Truck, 1 Cup. Pretty solid racing, and a lot of other Twitter feuds to talk about, Hall of Fame announcements to dive into. We got some good stuff going on. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Starting off, I think first and foremost, let's talk about the Hall of Fame. We have 3 new members of the NASCAR Hall of Fame that were just announced. 1 Pioneer and 2 Modern Era drivers. The Pioneer goes to Red Farmer, member of the Alabama gang. Then our 2 Modern Era drivers are Mike Stefanik, obviously legendary modified, 9-time modified champion driver there who passed away last year, and Dale Earnhardt Jr., the man, the myth, the legend, going into the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Truthfully, people may say, well, I don't think he's quite as deserving. Of all of the modern era drivers on the ballot, he was actually the winningest among all the series, and also, truthfully, I think he deserves to go in just on his health contributions alone, let alone his actual racing career. So 3 very, very deserving NASCAR Hall of Fame members for 2021. That is certainly exciting. Also, I want to talk about the Twitter feud that we've had going on for a while now between Denny Hamlin and Corey LaJoie. It's gotten ugly. And shortly before I started filming this episode, Corey LaJoie actually put out a statement on Twitter basically just saying, look, this has gotten way out of hand. I'm sorry. I'm putting an end to this here and now. But it's gotten ugly. It all started way back during the iRacing stuff. Corey LaJoie had said something about, how he wasn't satisfied with his performance or something. And Denny Hamlin just kind of tweeted at him and was like, oh, well, you're always complaining about your car not performing. Join iRacing. It's a chance for a level playing field. And Corey LaJoie took that challenge, and his first race at Talladega, sat on the pole, finished second. To which Denny Hamlin responded, oh, it's Talladega. You can't count that. That doesn't mean anything. And Corey LaJoie had issues the next several races, kind of called it quits on the iRacing side of things. And we left it alone for a while until last weekend at Atlanta. Corey LaJoie tweeted a photo of his heart rate and talking about how strenuous the race was, and Denny Hamlin slammed him for it, and I don't remember the exact slam, but it was basically like, that's pathetic. You should be in better shape than that, or something to that effect. And they started trading jabs back and forth. Corey LaJoie, said, well, why don't you and I trade cars? at some point I could really show you something. And then Denny Hamlin launched into this whole debate about driver versus car, what really matters, and got other drivers involved in the debate, and it just kind of blew up. Then we go to Martinsville, which, of course, as Corey LaJoie has said, is a driver's racetrack. I mean, you know, car matters very little at that place. You really just got to drive the track. And Denny Hamlin sucked, and Corey LaJoie finished several spots ahead of the 11 car. You know, that happened, and Corey LaJoie has basically said the only thing that from his perspective that he ever did that was even remotely personal was he predicted Denny Hamlin to win the race at Miami, which he did, and basically said, of course he's going to win because he won't have the pressure of a championship on the line this time around. And that definitely was a bit of a personal slam against Denny Hamlin. But so after Martinsville, the way that Corey LaJoie tells it, Denny Hamlin denies this has happened, but Corey LaJoie has explained, and Jeff Gluck has confirmed parts of this story. Corey LaJoie has said that shortly after the Martinsville race, Denny Hamlin texted Corey LaJoie and the team owner, crew chief, and like all the crew members at Go Fast Racing and threatened them and basically said, you know, it's really a shame that your car is going to get torn up at Miami. You know, that's really going to it's really going to do a lot of damage to your team. I really hate that for you guys. And obviously Go Fast did not appreciate that, nor should they have. They got NASCAR involved. NASCAR had to sit the two of them down and basically say this has to end before this really gets ugly. And of course, as I said, Corey LaJoie has since put out a statement on Twitter basically saying, I don't want this to go any further. It's over. And I'm sorry for the damage that has already been done. But it got very ugly. It started as playful banter and then got very, very ugly, very, very personal. And again, when you're sending threat texts to your fellow drivers, that's not cool. We don't do that in this sport. So, yeah, it got ugly, and we are not Denny Hamlin fans at all in this household. And I was joking with my parents last night, talking to them about this, and I was like, if you needed another reason to hate Denny Hamlin, here you go. But yeah, so messy situation, but certainly provided a lot of internet entertainment. So there's that. Take that as you will. Don't really think there's any other big news to dive into. Oh, yes, there is. I almost forgot. Major news for the July 15th All-Star Race. July 15th, All-Star Race is running, but not at Charlotte. The All-Star Race has been moved to Bristol Motor Speedway. Finally, a short track All-Star Race. This is awesome. And not only that, but NASCAR has gotten approval from the state of Tennessee to allow up to 30,000 fans at this race. This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible, and I was so overjoyed to hear this news. Honestly, I've kind of felt like the All-Star Race has lost its charm, has lost its appeal, has lost what makes it special. It's just kind of been another thing, another reason to go to a mile and a half. Who wants another one of those reasons? And so the opportunity to go to Bristol with that many fans, it's gonna be awesome, and I cannot wait. So major news there. I do think that is really all the major news that we have to dive into. So let's go ahead and transition into recapping the actual races from this weekend at Miami. All right, so as I said, I'm going to try to keep these race recaps fairly condensed because I don't want to make this episode too long, but we do have 4 exciting races to go over. Again, 2 Xfinity, 1 Truck, 1 Cup. Starting out with the first Xfinity race, the one race return of new Hall of Famer Dale Earnhardt Jr., and he had a great day, and I believe he ended up top 5. Starting off, Harrison Burton, Noah Gragson on the front row, competition lap 20. Again, same story as always. Chase Briscoe in the 98 car had another Denny Hamlin issue, lost a ballast right before the start of the race, put him like 6 or 7 laps down. He ended up rebounding for a lead lap top 10, which is just insane. Lot of the Xfinity races were, both of them, very, very entertaining this weekend. Noah Gragson trying to claim the new title of King of the Slide Job. A lot of comers and goers in these races. Ryan Sieg, Ross Chastain, Alex LeBay. Kyle Weatherman has kind of been a breakout star, kind of playing some different pit strategies in this race, is getting himself into the top 10, passing Gibbs and JRM cars is pretty impressive. Lot of various leaders in these races. Stage 1 winner in both Xfinity races, Ryan Sieg, after again playing some different pit strategy. So very, very entertaining races. We had some various cautions for Cody Vanderwall blowing an engine, and it was just very, very entertaining in this first Xfinity race. Had a strange caution for Brett Moffitt spinning Vinnie Miller. Both of them ended up in the fence. But the story of this first, the two stories of this first Xfinity race had to have been Noah Gragson, Gragson versus Cindric, pretty much. And again, the two of them just trading slide jobs. Gragson seemed to be able to just come out of nowhere from way back, dive bomb the corner, almost pull a Carl Edwards versus Jimmy Johnson, where Edwards, came up through the corner and video game style slapped the fence. I thought Gragson was going to do that way more than he did over the course of these races, but he really was doing well. And again, just able to come from obscene distances back and take the lead with a massive slider. Again, guys having phenomenal days in this first race. Ross Chastain, Dale Jr., very, very entertaining. Again, Chase Briscoe just played it perfectly. He was by far the fastest car on track all race long. There were a couple of laps that he was able to just get back by driving through the field and passing the leader. He played pit strategy right, and at the end of the day, he was able to get back onto the lead lap and finish P7, which was pretty incredible. But Noah Gragson was just kind of the class of the field until we had a late caution with 7 to go. Ryan Sieg in the 39 spins. And on the restart, an insane 3-wide move by Austin Cindric, which he starts fighting with Noah Gragson. The 20 of Harrison Burton is able to scoot by 3-wide, get to the lead. What a finish. Harrison Burton in the 20 car for Joe Gibbs Racing gets his second win of the season over Austin Cindric, Noah Gragson, Anthony Alfredo, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Incredible finish. It was, and I've talked about it in past episodes. I do not like Noah Gragson, so I was getting kind of sick of watching him run away with this thing. And so we got that late caution, and it was definitely not a snooze fest at the end of that thing. Again, it just looked like Austin Cindric took it 3-wide, got the 9 a little bit loose. Burton took advantage, and just wow, it was absolutely incredible. Again, Chase Briscoe all the way back up to the lead lap in 7th place. Very, very impressive run for that team. Unfortunately, with the same issue that Denny Hamlin experienced comes the same penalty and a 4-race suspension for crew chief Richard Boswell, car chief, and lead engineer on that 98 team. And Chase Briscoe got a pretty decent substitute crew chief in old Zippy, Greg Zippidelli, former Tony Stewart crew chief, and they did okay in the second race. So before we move on, I'll go ahead and run through the finishing order of the Contender Boats 250 in the Xfinity Series. No, that was the second race, the Hooters 250. Harrison Burton takes the win. Austin Cindric second. Noah Gragson third. Anthony Alfredo fourth. Fifth is Dale Jr. Sixth, Michael Annett. Seventh, Chase Briscoe. Eighth, Brandon Jones. Ninth, Ross Chastain. 10th, Riley Herbst. 11th, J.J. Yaley. 12th, Jeremy Clements. 13th, Justin Haley. 14th, Brandon Brown. 15th, Mike Snyder. 16th, Joe Graff Jr. 17th, Colby Howard. 18th, Jesse Little. 19th, Jeffrey Earnhardt. 20th, Josh Williams. 21st, Colin Garrett. 22nd, Stephen Parsons. 23rd, Timmy Hill. 24th, Bailey Curry. 25th, Alex LeBay. 26th, BJ MacLeod. 27th, Matt Mills. 28th, Ryan Sieg. 29th, Cesar Baccarella. 30th, Chad Fincham. 31st, Tommy Joe Martins. 32nd, Justin Allgaier. 33rd, Kyle Weatherman. 34th, Vinnie Miller. 35th, Brett Moffitt. 36th, Stephen Light. And 37th, Cody Vanderwall after an engine issue. So this first race was awesome. And then we had the good old NAS trucks, the Gander RV and Outdoors Truck Series. So let's talk about that. All right, the NASCAR Gander RV and Outdoors Truck Series at Homestead Miami Speedway. Chase Elliott was back in this race, as was Brennan Poole. Again, no bounty on the line since Chase Elliott snatched it up in the very first race. But this was an okay race. Kyle Busch, and I mean, it's Kyle Busch. Of course, it's probably going to end up being a snooze fest at the end. Front row, Austin Hill, Christian Eckes, after Kyle Busch had to start from the rear after inspection issues. Competition caution lap 15. Again, same thing as the last several weeks. Pretty good racing in the first stage. Austin Hill versus Grant Enfinger up front. Ross Chastain moving up in the top 5. Awesome battles. Hill gets out to the lead on the early restarts. We had a big wreck early on. 3 out of the 5 GMS trucks. It looked like the 21 of Zane Smith got loose, slid up the track, spun the 24 of Chase Elliott, who collected the 23 of Brett Moffitt. Smith and Moffitt were out immediately. Major damage to those 2 trucks. Ross Chastain got out to the lead with help from Ben Rhodes. And then looked like the 16 of Austin Hill kind of turned down. They made contact, he and Rhodes, but the 44 of Chastain able to get clear on the first stage. Excuse me, my voice is not holding out today. Later on in the race, early on in stage 2, Kyle Busch up front again, and he's gone. Was able to work his way up to the front again by stage 2. Couple of cautions for spins. Brennan Poole. There was one caution that they never ever said on the broadcast or anywhere on social media that I could find what the caution was for. We just had a caution. Chase Elliott was getting in the fence a couple of times. 51 Kyle Busch just kind of ran away with the end of this race. But after that caution that we weren't sure why, we went to a red flag because coming to pit road, the 2 of Sheldon Creed missed the entrance and just plowed into the tire barriers on the entrance of pit road. Big long red flag to clean all that up. Kyle Busch out to the lead, and Ben Rhodes to second. Austin Hill around him. Big slide by the 99. Late caution for Jordan Anderson in the 3 getting into the fence. And on the restart, Ross Chastain always making it interesting. Took it 3 wide, but Kyle Busch able to get out. Won the race over Tyler Ankrum, who finishes second, which was a great day for him. Ross Chastain third. Chase Elliott all the way back up to the top 5, and then Johnny Sauter rounding it out. No contest, snooze fest there at the end. Kyle Busch again, just it was fun when Chase Elliott was able to give him a run for his money. At Charlotte, but it's Kyle Busch, and he's so good in the truck series that it's unfortunately going to end up being a bit of a snooze fest when he starts running away with these things. Here's the finishing order. Kyle Busch takes the win. Tyler Ankrum second. Ross Chastain third. 4th is Chase Elliott. 5th, Johnny Sauter. 6th, Todd Gilliland. 7th, Austin Hill. 8th, Christian Eckes. 9th, Matt Crafton. 10th, Ty Majeski. 11th, Raphael Lessard. 12th, Tanner Gray. 13th, Spencer Davis. 14th, Stuart Friesen. 15th, Derek Kraus. 16th, Austin Wayne Self. 17th, Grant Enfinger. 18th, Ben Rhodes. 19th, Brendan Poole. 20th, Sheldon Creed. 21st, Corey Roper. 22nd, Spencer Boyd. 23rd, Tate Fulkelman. Angela Ruck, 24th. Tyler Hill, 25th. Greg Alding, 26th. Jennifer Jo Cobb, 27th. 28th is Cody Rohrabaugh. 29th, Ray Cicerelli, who, of course, has been in the headlines recently. Clay Greenfield, 30th. Jordan Anderson, 31st. Dawson Cram, 32nd. Corbin Forrester, 33rd. 34th, Norm Benning. 35th, TJ Bell. 36th, Brett Moffitt. Zane Smith, 37th. And Bryant Barnhill, 38th. So that was the truck race. And then the very next day, we went back to the Xfinity Series. So let's talk about that. All right, first time ever in Xfinity Series history that we go right back to the same track the very next day. And this was another phenomenal race. Mike Snyder, Brandon Brown starting on the front row due to an invert with the top 15. And this was a Dash for Cash race with AJ Allmendinger, Noah Gragson, Daniel Hemrick, and Justin Haley as the 4 drivers in contention. Competition caution lap 20. And Ross Chastain, Chase Briscoe trading the lead early. Then Austin Cindric gets up there, and lot of guys make it interesting up front. Had a caution for 44 of Tommy Joe Martins, who cannot catch a break to save his life lately. Worst luck of anybody in recent weeks. He and Cesar Baccarella got together. Baccarella just somehow he was stopped on pit road, and then he turned straight into the grass and tore his car up, which was bizarre. Ryan Sieg cleared to the restart and wins stage 1 for the second day in a row. At the end of that stage, we had a 4-lap dash to the end of the stage, and Michael Annett with fresh tires literally goes from 30th to 2nd in 4 laps to finish P2 in stage 1. That was incredible. Never seen anything like that. Cindric wins race off pit road, but Chastain stays out. Brandon Jones actually to the lead on the restart. All 4 Dash for Cash drivers were in the top 10. Really epic battle going on between Hemrick, Gragson, Jones, Burton, and Briscoe. Once again, Gragson, Cindric trading the lead back and forth with sliders. Those two were, again, just pulling those slide jobs to such an extent. Both of them would get in the fence every once in a while. It was definitely looking like the 9 was just unbeatable. Noah Gragson was just running absolutely incredible. Third on back was kind of a mess. Cindric was a lap down because he had gotten into the fence and given the lead back to Noah Gragson, and he's trying to work his way through traffic, and it was just a mess as he was trying to get back up to the front. Gragson running away, but green flag pit stops. Cycled the field back through. Race is over without a caution. I knew it coming to the end of the race. No one's absolutely stood a chance against Noah Gragson. He was just absolutely unbeatable. The 7 of Justin Allgaier was getting in the fence like every other lap. Finally, he came to pit road, no caution. 98 of Chase Briscoe starting to run the 9 down out of nowhere. Again, with the substitute crew chief, Zippy back on the box. 98 was faster. Not sure if he had the time. He actually got into the fence a little bit, fell back. He was starting to run the 9 down, but couldn't get there. He just did not have the time. But we had a caution with 2 to go. Gragson was literally about to take the white flag, and we had a caution for the 22 of Austin Cindric spinning again. And I knew, okay, Briscoe's back in the race. We got ourselves a race now. And all day, Noah Gragson, he had the best long-run car, but he sucked on restarts. And that came back to bite him in a big, big way. Briscoe wins the race off pit road. We had yet another caution on our second overtime attempt as Riley Herbst got tagged by AJ Allmendinger. They spun and took out Michael Annett, and Daniel Hemrick took a huge, huge hit. It looked like the 18 of Herbst turned down, and Allmendinger was just there, and there was just not really anything that anybody could do. So we tried it one more time. Very messy restart, but Chase Briscoe cleared to the lead, and Noah Gragson gets in the fence, and Chase Briscoe wins his 3rd race of the year. Again, this guy, he put a number on himself, basically saying, if I want to keep my job, if I want to make it to the Cup Series next year, I got to win 7, 8, 9 races this year. He's already got 3, and we're not even halfway through the season yet. So Chase Briscoe is by far the championship favorite for the Xfinity Series this year, and will probably, if you watch my silly season predictions video, be in the Cup Series next season. But yes, Chase Briscoe wins. The Dash for Cash goes to AJ Allmendinger, who wasn't even supposed to be in the race, but because he won Atlanta, he decided to enter this one and was already supposed to be in this coming weekend's race at Talladega, so he will be Dash for Cash eligible as well. The Dash for Cash for Talladega is Chase Briscoe, Brandon Jones, Ross Chastain, and AJ Allmendinger, so Colleague Racing going for it twice. But Chase Briscoe, just absolutely incredible. Again, wins with a sub crew chief. And that was just absolutely incredible. So again, Chase Briscoe, if my app will decide to cooperate with me here. Here we go. Chase Briscoe takes the win over Brandon Jones, Ross Chastain, AJ Allmendinger, Noah Gragson, your top 5. 6th is Justin Haley. 7th, Myatt Snyder in the 93. Harrison Burton, 8th. Riley Herbst, 9th. 10th, Austin Cindric. 11th, Anthony Alfredo. 12th, Josh Williams. 13th, Joe Graf Jr. 14th, Colin Garrett. Great run for Sam Hunt Racing. Jesse Little, 15th. Jeffrey Earnhardt, 16th. 17th, Colby Howard. So that's 3 JD Motorsports cars. 15, 16, 17. So that's pretty cool. 18th, Michael Annett. 19th, Ryan Sieg. Tommy Joe Martins, 20th. 21st, Chad Fincham. 22nd, Justin Allgaier. 23rd, Alex LeBay. 24th, Matt Mills. 25th, Timmy Hill. Bailey Curry, 26th. Jeremy Clements, 27th. Carson Ware, 28th. 29th, Vinnie Miller. 30th, Cesar Baccarella. 31st, Daniel Hemrick. 32nd, Stephen Parsons. 33rd, Cody Vanderwall. 34th, BJ MacLeod. 35th, Kyle Weatherman. 36th, Brandon Brown. 37th, J.A. Jr. Avila. And 38th is Stephen Light. So, again, huge win for Chase Briscoe, getting his 3rd win of the year. And he is looking really, really good for the championship this year. So, that leaves 1 race left. Let's fly through this Cup Series. Let's do it. All right, the NASCAR Cup Series in action at Homestead Miami Speedway, the first non-championship race at Miami since 2001. Florida weather, Florida summertime weather is awful. It really is. And literally seconds after the command fire engines, it rained. And after almost an hour delay, we're finally ready to go. Set up a competition caution lap 25. Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin front row. Green flag, and it looked pretty nasty. And then we had lightning after like 4 laps. And lightning, of course, in the vicinity means a mandatory 30-minute hold. And after about a 2-hour delay, we're finally ready to go for real this time. 11:22 side-by-side for the lead. Caution for the 6 of Ryan Newman spinning. It became a competition caution. Good 3-car battle for the lead between Logano, Elliott, Reddick. Tyler Reddick was running phenomenal this whole entire race. Just as Chase Elliott takes the lead, lightning again. And we go into another hold, and it's just, it was terrible. But finally, we're ready to get this race finished. Elliott, Blaney, side-by-side for the lead. Blaney finally cleared. Denny Hamlin gets to P2. Eric Almirola was running really well. Top 5 pretty much all night. The battle for the lead was pretty epic. Blaney versus Hamlin. Blaney had incredible blocking. Denny Hamlin had incredible sliders. He finally pulled a slider and took the lead. Denny Hamlin wins the first stage. William Byron gets himself into the top 5 after, again, several weeks of just awful luck. We had Ryan Blaney take the lead back. 5-car battle for the lead. Blaney, Hamlin, Elliott, Reddick, Byron. It was pretty incredible. Blaney finally pulling away. Green flag pit stops, cycled the field. And Hamlin now leading Blaney by a couple of seconds. And Denny Hamlin was just running away. No contest. Lap traffic was not fun. 22 of Joey Logano rams the 9 of Chase Elliott. Obviously still salty about Bristol, which would come into play much later in the race as well. Then the 12 of Ryan Blaney rams the 8 of Tyler Reddick. Lets Chase get by. Denny Hamlin wins stage 2 by 5.5 seconds. Gets clear on the stage 3 restart as well. But Chase Elliott and Tyler Reddick were there. Had a caution for Joey Logano getting into the fence, collecting Ryan Newman. Joey Logano was just having a miserable night. But I noticed Denny Hamlin got clear again to the lead, but his splitter was on the ground. Something awful. Battle for the lead. Blaney flies past Hamlin. They're both trying the Gragson sliders, but it was really working for Hamlin, who got clear again. Epic battle for 8th that was going on between Bowman, Bell, and Jones. Kevin Harvick had to pit for a flat right rear tire, as did Chris Buescher. Chase Elliott running down Denny Hamlin for the race lead. He is there. Strategy play, Elliott pits and then Hamlin pits and the cycle complete. Chase Elliott leads. And then Joey Logano happened and deliberately cost Chase Elliott this race. Again, still upset about Elliott wrecking him at Bristol. Now, here's my philosophy with what happened, because obviously Joey Logano just held up and like 2 or 3 laps down, held up and blocked leader Chase Elliott, allowing Denny Hamlin to take the lead. And as soon as Hamlin got to Logano, he pulled right aside. And my philosophy with how that unfolded is I have no issue with payback, but especially when it's Joey Logano and Chase Elliott, 2 of the biggest, most successful drivers in the series right now. You guys are going to be actually racing each other for position and for wins a lot this year. And my philosophy is, if you're going to do something like that, wait to do it until you're actually racing for position. If you are 3 laps down and I'm fighting for a win, I think respect says, I don't care what you hold against me. Let me go. We can settle this another week. But Joey Logano held up Chase Elliott and allowed Denny Hamlin to take the lead and take the win of this race. Chase Elliott tried to close back in on him, but got in the fence late and cost himself the race. Denny Hamlin gets his 40th career victory by a 1.5 seconds over Chase Elliott. Close, but no cigar, as the top 4 bunched up. So congratulations to Denny Hamlin, but not the finish that we were hoping for at all. So let me go ahead and run through the finishing order here of the Dixie Vodka 400. Denny Hamlin wins over Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Tyler Reddick, and Eric Almirola. Your top 5. Funny story of Tyler Reddick. At the flying of the white flag, Tyler Reddick thought the race was over and slowed down and almost lost some positions, and his crew had to come over the radio and be like, go, the race is not over, you still have 1 lap left. I remember Jimmy Johnson and Mark Martin have both cost themselves wins for doing that, for thinking the race was over at the white flag. So Tyler Reddick, funny mistake there, but he ended up not losing a single position and still finishing 4th. Kyle Busch is 6th, Austin Dillon 7th, Christopher Bell 8th, 9th William Byron, 10th Brad Keselowski, 11th Clint Boyer, 12th Martin Truex Jr., 13th Bubba Wallace, 14th Matt DiBenedetto, 15th Michael McDowell, Jimmy Johnson 16th, Kurt Busch 17th, Alex Bowman 18th, John Hunter Nemechek 19th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 20th, 21st Eric Jones, 22nd Cole Custer, 23rd Chris Buescher, 24th Ryan Preece, 25th Matt Kenseth, 26th Kevin Harvick, 27th Joey Logano, 28th Ty Dillon, 29th Corey LaJoie, 30th Ryan Newman, 31st Daniel Suarez, 32nd Brendan Poole, 33rd Quinn Houff, 34th Timmy Hill, 35th BJ McLeod, 36th Joey Gase, 37th Josh Bilicki, and 38th is JJ Yaley. So not the most exciting race, but definitely a solid one. And again, congratulations to Denny Hamlin, 40 wins. That ties you with Mark Martin. That is pretty cool. So that does it. I have made it through 4 races in record time on this show. Hopefully this video has not gone too long. With 4 races to talk about, I wanted to condense things and keep it short. But great racing in Miami. We've got Talladega this weekend, and that is going to be awesome. And Russell Crowe, I think, is who I heard is the Grand Marshal for the race. So that ought to be fun. But yeah, I don't think I do have one other thing to talk about. Mandatory segment, 2 clowns and a winner. Let's do it. I'm going to do what I said I would do last week and condense the whole thing and just do 2 clowns and a winner for the whole weekend. Clown number 1. Who did I write down? I'm going to say Joey Logano. Again, I have a problem. I don't have a problem with payback. I have a problem when a car that is 3 laps down purposefully holds up the leader to manipulate the outcome of the race. Again, I think if you're going to do that, that's fine. But wait until you and I are actually racing each other for position. Joey Logano said, "You cost me a win, I cost you a win," and I get that, but let's keep things, some level of fair, it's just a respect thing of, if you're that far off, just it can wait. So that would be my take there. Clown number 2, I'm gonna go with Florida in the summertime and the weather situation and the rain and lightning and everything for the Cup race. That was absolutely miserable. I don't know why I stayed up that late finishing that race, especially for that ending. But certainly the constant lightning delays were no fun at all. So clown number 2 would be Florida weather. And the winner, I am actually going to go with the 10 of Eric Almirola. The dude finished 5th in the Cup race, and he's been another one who has just been so down on luck for the last year or so. Has won one race at Talladega with Stewart-Haas Racing, finished 5th in the points in 2018. But just in the last 2 years just has not been able to put anything together, and he finally had a solid day. He was never in contention for the win, but he had a good day and he needed one. So there's 2 clowns and a winner for you, and that's pretty much going to do it for this episode of The Fifth Turn. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, as always, you can follow the show on Twitter at Fifth Turn, also on Facebook, facebook.com/The Fifth Turn. Send an email to thefifthturn@gmail.com. Leave a like and a comment and hit subscribe if you haven't already. Do all the things. Always happy for more support. So thank you guys for watching. I know this episode was long, but I tried to keep it as condensed as possible. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you later. Take care, y'all.